Hey, and welcome to the Drive and Dish podcast. We're here for January the 7th. Our man, Dynamite David, is with us, and his hot streak continues. Are you ready to pick some college basketball for January the 7th?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a good year so far. Started off a little slow, but I've picked up pretty good pace the last week and ready to be over 500 after today, I think.
Yeah. All right. So let's review what went down on January the 6th. You had a 4-2 overall day. Ole Miss -7.5 versus Auburn was a big winner. Michigan -7.5 versus Minnesota was a winner. Tennessee -9.5 versus Arkansas was not a winner. A pretty close and entertaining game there. Georgetown plus the 5.5 versus Butler did Georgetown things and went up big and then blew the lead like they've pretty much done all year long. Xavier -6.5 versus St. John's was a pretty easy and nice win. And Creighton was on fire. And when Creighton is on fire, you can't touch them. That offense is ridiculous. Creighton -5.5 versus Seton Hall with a winner. That puts you at 41-1, one game away from Mount 500. It's been a week's long climb, but you're sitting right there. One win
I'm feeling
away
it today.
Getting back to 500. I went 2-1 overall. Pittsburgh plus the 11.5 was versus Syracuse was a winner. They ended up winning that game outright. Wofford -1.5 did not shoot well, which means Wofford went down to UNC Greensboro at -1.5. That was a loss. South Carolina dominated the very poor Texas A&M on the road. South Carolina -3.5. 2-1 on the day, 94-77-1 on the year. All right. What do you got pick-wise for us, David, today in college basketball?
I've got 4 picks today. I've got a couple Pac-12 and I've got a couple Big Ten. So we both know that I really like the Big Ten picks. So I had to get a few there. But I'm gonna start out in the Pac
conference. That might be what I have.
We're gonna start off in the Pac-12. Oregon's getting 3.5 at Colorado. I really like Oregon getting points here. They're on an 8-game winning streak after dropping their opener to Missouri, rated 15th in KenPom. And they're coming off a really good 17-point win over a solid Stanford team. So I'm questioning why they're even getting points here. I guess just because, Colorado's look pretty solid. This is their first home game, I think, in the Pac-12. But I look for Oregon to win this game, and I love the fact that they're getting 3.5 points here.
All right, good one.
Next up, I've got Iowa -5.5 at Maryland. Maryland's missing senior forward Daryl Morsell, and he's got a fracture in his face, missed the last game in their loss to Indiana, I believe. Iowa's got Maryland both in size and rebounding, and they've got one of the best players in the country in Luka Garza, and he's actually from the D.C. area, was not recruited by Maryland, and this may be a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and you don't want to give the best player in the country a chip on his shoulder. So I think Iowa wins big at Maryland tonight.
There might be some guys on the Zags who debate you on best player in America.
Next up, this line's moved a couple points already, but I got in on early. I've got Wisconsin -7.5 versus Indiana at home at Wisconsin. Now, Indiana's 10th in the country in adjusted defense. They're a very solid team defensively. But Wisconsin's probably one of the most efficient teams in the league. They're 3rd in turnover percentage and 43rd in field goal percentage. So I like Wisconsin here. Both these teams have similar play styles, but I think Wisconsin does it all just a little bit better. And I think they're going to win big at home against Indiana. And last up, I've got Stanford -9.5 at Washington. Washington is terrible. They're the worst team in the Pac-12. Stanford's pretty solid. Oscar da Silva is playing very well as of late. He's got 4 games this year with 20-plus points, and he just scored 31 against Oregon State a few days ago. So I like Stanford to win big at Washington tonight.
All right. Some big-time games and some big-time matchups. I'm going the other way. We're going to start out in the Northeast Conference for me, and we're going to go with Merrimack playing their first game of the year. They were a very good home team last year. I guess we're just going to ride that they will be a very good home team this year versus a very poor Sacred Heart team. So really like Merrimack at home. Made a lot of money off them. Sacred Heart has been really poor. Losses to LIU and Wagner. So I think this will be a good game for Merrimack to get off the schneid and start out hot in the Northeast Conference. Next up, we're going to the Big Sky. We're going to Northern Arizona and Flagstaff. Northern Arizona -2.5 versus Idaho State. We like them at home. Got that elevation advantage there. Went to Idaho, won 2 games away. So we think they're on a hot streak here. They've won 3 of their last 4, their only loss being a Gonzaga loss. So that's acceptable, but wins versus Denver, 2 versus Idaho. We think they'll be able to take Idaho State with us, who just came off a win to Northern Colorado. But other than that, don't have any real wins to speak of. So we're going to ride Northern Arizona and Flagstaff tonight. And lastly, we are going to go into a big conference. We're going with Arizona State +1.5 at home versus UCLA. Arizona State has been pretty hot and cold all year. They have wins and then they have losses. They have puzzling losses, but we think they'll step up versus UCLA today. UCLA has been playing pretty solid, but that's solid at home. I think they'll struggle away. So we're going to ride Arizona State in Tempe tonight +1.5. All right, let's go to our NBA picks. 2-1 yesterday. I have gone from atrocious to almost okay the last week or so as I start to figure out the NBA season. You can't probably fade me anymore and make money, but I still wouldn't take my picks. But Washington Wizards covered that 6.5 versus the Philadelphia 76ers, just barely. They don't play defense, but they sure are entertaining to watch, and Beal went for 60 the other night. My thing ran true. Milwaukee versus bad teams, blows them out. Under 14, always ride the Milwaukee Bucks, and they covered that. Milwaukee was -12.5 versus the Detroit Pistons, and a winner. Lastly, the Golden State Magic ran out last night, +1.5 versus the LA Clippers. So 2-1. That puts me at 12-19. I'm working my way back to 500 in the NBA. Small slate tonight, only one game. Philadelphia 76ers -1.5 versus the Brooklyn Nets. Hopefully Philadelphia, who's been the hottest team in the NBA, will continue that. Brooklyn Nets without Kevin Durant today. They had a good step-up game versus the Utah Jazz, but I think they'll struggle today. So Philadelphia 76ers -1.5. All right, that's our show. Be sure to follow all our podcasts on greenlightnetwork.org. Where can we find you, David?
Follow me at GLN Dynamite D on Twitter, or Dynamite_D on Twitter. I'll get that one of these days. And I'll be posting pics. Maybe I'll throw some more out there. I'm not sure. But give me a follow.
That's our show, and we're out.